Hello everybody, I'm Ray Braselton, your host, and this is The Music Show.
And I'm Nick Rita, co-host.
And we are happy to have you with us today. We have a great group for you today called the Bobby McGee Band. It's a father and daughter band, and it really consists of just two singers,
right,
and a keyboard.
Keyboard, right.
Player.
That's, and he does a lot of things with that keyboard. He sets up tracks, the backup, and then he plays along with them. It's really interesting. I think you'll find it to be enjoyable. Bobby
McGee, actually, I've known him for a while, and he's played for many, many years before I ever knew him. He's been playing since the 60s. He's, I guess he started out with guitar, and later on got a keyboard and started playing around with it, and he does a very good job on it. He has a pretty good concept of the theory behind music, so his chords are you know, full chords, and I think it complements
he and his
the
daughter
songs
have been
he
doing
does.
this just a few years, maybe
just a few
2 or 3 years, I
yes.
think they said.
Right, and they have a son also, or he has a son, her brother, who also plays lead guitar for them on occasion. And I guess he had some experience of playing out with some pretty big groups back in the 60s and 70s. I guess he played all over, you know, up many different resort places and everything. And so he's in Florida, I believe. So he's played out quite a bit and knows the ropes.
Did we mention they were from Seneca Falls?
Yes, we did.
Falls,
so you may have an opportunity to not only see them on the show, but they. I'm sure you'd catch the contact number if you're interested in them. You got them in this area now to play. So, of course, we have our other segments.
All the other segments are going to be present and accounted for.
Exactly. You get, you know, the round table, of course, is at the end of the show. Of course, we have the interview of the group and the
interesting showcase
on the keyboard.
Yeah, right.
So we think you'll enjoy the show and stay there, and we'll.
Don't touch your remote.
We'll be right with you with a good show.
Hi, we're the Bobby McGee Band. We're here for your listening pleasure. To my right is Bobby McGee. I'm Tammy Wadhams, and we're going to be playing some music for you tonight, and we hope you enjoy. What song are we going to do, Bobby?
Kansas City.
All right.
Kansas City. Kansas City I come. Kansas City I come. They got some crazy little women there. I'm gonna get me one. I'm gonna be standing on the corner of 12th Street and Vine. I'm gonna be standing on the corner with my Kansas City baby, the father of that Kansas City wine. Well, I might take a train, I might take a plane, but if I have to walk, I'm going just the same. I'm going to Kansas City, Kansas City I come. They got some crazy little women there. I'm gonna get me one. Kansas City I come. Kansas City I come. They got some crazy little women there. I'm gonna get me one. They got some crazy little women there. I'm gonna get me one. They got some crazy little women there. I'm gonna get me one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bobby McGee and Tammy Watkins, right?
Wadham, yes.
Watkins, okay. How you like that for an intro? Welcome everybody to the music show, and this is the interview segment of the music show, and that was great. We never had it done quite like that.
It's half over. It was wonderful.
Well, I did kind of introduce you already, but why don't I let you introduce yourself? You have to get in your mic a little bit. And,
Okay, I'm known as Bobby McGee. The last 25 years, my real name is Bob Pavero. I'm from Seneca Falls, and what else you want me to say, Uncle Ray?
Well, let's just introduce this beautiful lady here.
Oh, that's Tammy here, Tammy Waddams, Tammy Marie Pavero Waddams. She's my beautiful daughter, my #1 daughter. She is a singer in the family, and that's all I can say. She's beautiful, and I love her. They scare me, too.
And we love her.
Thanks, Dave.
You are a beautiful singer, I must say.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you very much.
And I know
I
your
hope
dad,
everyone enjoys what we did.
Oh, I'm sure that they've enjoyed it, and they will enjoy the rest of the show with the more that you're doing with the singing and everything that you got planned for us today. And but I know your dad, boy, he really does appreciate you singing with him, doesn't he?
Yes.
He does really. But I know that you're going to be doing stuff. You do stuff alone also without her on occasion. And
Oh, absolutely.
you started with. In fact, that's my first question was, when did you guys actually start playing together?
Oh, maybe about three and a half years ago, I was on the road playing in Florida, in different places, and came back, and I was at a gig somewhere. I think I was up in Canandaigua, and my family came and visit me, and I coaxed her up on the stage, and I haven't let go since. I said, Tammy, she's just a natural.
I wish I'd get my daughter to sing with me.
She can harmonize truly with a B.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She's a great heart. She can sing with anybody. She's really
Well, as everybody's already probably seen on a couple of the songs you've already done, but I know that you guys are doing very, very good together, playing all over the place, and I've listened to you play a couple of places, and of course I consider you my friends. I've known Bobby. Bobby, how long have we? Over a few years. I mean, 3 or 4 years, I guess.
I bumped into Ray and,
over at my place at my what was it, the Performers Association? We tried to start and never quite got going. Yeah.
By the way, I admire you for doing all that hard work, Ray.
Well,
you and your wife, and you're doing something for our community.
Well, we hope everybody's enjoying the music show too, and it's helping everybody. And but I know that Bobby, you got quite a bit of background behind you. And I know you're also a very good guitarist also. And I've seen you play. I've been at your house. I've practiced with you. We did a job together once.
Yeah.
And your dad can play a guitar.
He can really play. he can play a guitar. He can play this piano as well as the guitar.
I was amazed. I didn't realize he played guitar. I was over there and he started saying, well, let me play a couple things on the guitar. I was like, so you really surprised me, Bobby, at your house when I was over there. He did that.
I wasn't really doing anything.
Well,
this guy's a guitar player. Ray, don't let him kid you.
No.
Ray can play and sing.
But how long had you been playing the guitar before?
Oh, probably since I played saxophone in the service in the Army band. And I got out of the Army, and the band's guitar was a hot instrument way back in the early 60s there.
Right.
And I don't know, it just attracted me, and I got into guitar playing.
Did you play in bands back then with the?
Oh yeah, right away. I was only playing. I swear to God, I was only playing a couple months, and a knock on the door. Next thing I was playing, and I never stopped.
Yeah, and it was like rock and roll at the time, or?
Yeah. It was just anything. I always concentrated on the top 10 tunes of the day, whatever, and I played with some real good guys, and very educated and everything, and I just hung out with them. And
well, to be, I mean, you're real good with your knowledge of music, from what I've learned from you working with you. I mean, your theory, and we're going to have a showcase a little bit on your piano, and I want to talk a little bit about your chord assembly and how you do that. But nevertheless, I just really admire your ability on the musical spectrum.
Thank you. I appreciate
everything. Now, you are playing different places now. Can you tell us a little bit, Tammy, about some of the places that that you do play at? And
Well, Ray, we've been all over. The Esperanza Mansion was a favorite. Ventosa Vineyards, various places in Geneva. But I have to say, our all-time favorite lately is in Syracuse, New York.
really?
And he's going to laugh. I won't even say where, but we can play my music, jazz all night long, and the people just love it.
Well, I mean, really surprised because you love jazz. I mean,
I love
you're his daughter
jazz.
and you love jazz.
I was raised on it. He played it. He did the top 40 covers, and we listened as we were children. But I just
I was
love.
in a traveling band.
Yeah.
Traveling, something, I don't know if I should say it quite like this. I was always gone
Yeah.
as a father.
Well, you were working hard.
I was
You
working
had
hard.
your
I was
own
following my
company and-
music. I was playing 6, 7 nights a week.
Oh,
I
my
was
God.
gone. I packed right up and gone, and we were in the Ramada Inns, Holiday Inns, and Lake George, and New York, and I didn't never forgot about my family. I just couldn't make it home at times, and I regretted it very much.
Well, it's so nice to see you two doing this together.
We're having
you're
fun.
a lovely couple.
Oh, I have-
mean,
we're
together,
having fun.
Daughter
I
and
have my
father and daughter.
my whole family.
Yeah.
She makes my
All that.
she makes my whole day, my whole evening. You know, she
Well,
really does.
I had some other questions I'm kind of forgetting here, but let me go through my list here. I guess I wanted to kind of know, like, how'd you come up with that name, Bobby McGee? You gotta tell me that.
Years
one.
ago, I was playing Lake George, and Janis Joplin, the rock singer, came out with me and my Bobby McGee, and the song, and my name being Bob or Bobby
Yeah. Oh,
in those
that's
days,
right.
a young man, and the other fellows in the band, you know, every time we had it, everyone sang in the band, and I was stuck with Bobby McGee.
Yeah.
And after a while, they just started calling me.
Bobby McGee.
Bobby
And it
McGee.
stuck
And it
for all
stuck.
these years.
And I tried to change it 100 times, and whatever.
Well, that's good. It's very catchy. I like that name. You also, you know, I know you you play great jazz on the piano and everything, but you like to get into some more than just jazz.
Oh,
and
I
stuff
get
like
into
that.
rock. I get in a lot of 8-beat. They call it 8-beat rock, or early rock, and so I love to invent, write some songs. It's just it's a feeling to me. I don't know how they can even play without a bass and a drum. I can't. I do, but it's so dead to me. I mean, I need that. That's what makes me go.
You gotta get your daughter involved with that one.
Well, she plays piano. Don't worry about it.
No, but does she like to do the rock stuff with you?
She does. We sing a lot of rock. You know, we sing a lot of rock. She hates it.
He
but
tells me I'm lousy at rock and roll.
No, she's not lousy. She's just so refined. She carries her words right out.
But she is refined.
Yeah, we'll be doing a rock song. I always make fun. I said, you know, you want to do Louis, and Tammy goes, Louis. She's very technical.
I got you.
And if I breathe, if I don't carry, when we're harmonizing, I don't carry my note to the end. I know about it. I'll tell you that.
Well, I'll tell you, we're looking forward to the rest of the show with you guys, and I'm looking forward to the showcase coming up pretty soon here, and we're going to talk about some of the chords you do and how you assemble chords.
I love
make sure that you know. By the way, do you have any contact number or anything that people can get a hold of you for your jobs?
I always give it to my daughter.
We have business cards, and we have a Gmail account.
Can you give it? Do you know it?
Yes,
by
it's
heart?
it's actually Bobby McGee Band at gmail.com.
And Tammy's great on that computer.
Yeah.
And I get my fingers stuck on it. I don't really like to use it.
I noticed. I've written you go. I don't always hear back from Tammy.
She's very good to me. And before we blab, and I got to say this, Ray,
Okay.
I want to thank my son-in-law very much, Ray.
He's great.
He's beautiful. I mean, without him, I don't. And good as Tammy is, I don't think we can do this because he goes right along with my daughter.
Just to reward him for all the nice things he does, you should give him some cowboy boots or something. I think you should do that. But just to be nice.
But he's really real good. And
He's a great guy.
His patience is great.
He does everything.
We
for
go
you.
all over, and he never complains. Never.
I know he does all the roading. How do you say that? Roading.
He's a roadie. He's a
The
setup
big guy,
guy.
too. Bouncer at the places you go to.
I gotta
also.
say that he never complains, and we go all these places, and poor Ray's there most of the time by himself. He don't know anybody, and I admire him for that.
We want to thank you, Ray. He's out there, you guys.
Yeah,
he's out there.
Ray.
Off camera, but he's out there.
Okay.
So everybody, get ready for the rest of the show. We've had a good show so far. Let's keep it up.
Sure.
This has been a lot of fun doing this with my friends. Okay.
It's been a pleasure, Ray.
Thank you, Ray.
Okay, Danny. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
We're going to do a tune called Tangerine tonight. We hope you enjoy. Go ahead, Bob. Tangerine, she is all they claim, with her eyes of night and lips as bright as flame. Bar across the Argentine. Yeah, she has them all on the run, but her heart belongs to just one. Her heart belongs to
Hello out there. I'm Uncle Nick, Nick Rita, and this is Uncle Nick's Corner again. Every once in a while we get a email or a letter in asking for some information, and I really like that. I enjoy being able to answer questions. And if there's anything that you'd like for me to cover, why don't you just give a call or an email or send a mail or stop by at Braselton's and ask the question. I'd be happy to tenor any question. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of music and develop a little chord solo. The particular song that I'm going to use, and let me show it to you. Actually, this is just, I copied it from a book. It's actually out of a mandolin book. One of my mandolin students has it. And the name of it is Near to the Cross. It's a gospel type, hymn type tune. And actually it was originally written for mandolin. But we could take the melody and the chords and we can play anything on it. Let me play some of the melody for you. It's in 3/4 time, it's in the key of C. C. And it's just a simple melody. One of the first things we're going to try to do is think piano-wise. If we were playing this, we could play in the left hand, we could play a bass melody, as the right hand is
playing a chord. In this case, the left hand is going to be my thumb, so I'm going to pick out the melody notes with my thumb, and I'm going to pick out chords with my 3 fingers. The chords are basic, C, F, and G7. There's a C7 that we put in every once in a while, but they're the basic 1, 4, 5 in the key of C. And I particularly didn't even go over this a whole lot before I used it because I wanted to develop it here as we do it. So sometimes we'll be doing some changes or whatever, but let's go with it. We're starting out in the key in C. That's basically it. Notice my thumb was picking out the melody as the fingers, as I'm holding a note. G7, C, D, F chord, C, now another thing that we'd like to be able to do is put the melody up an octave. Then what we're going to do is fill the chords in below the melody note. Let me play part of this up an octave. Now as I put the chords underneath that, here we have a C down here, but the top note is an E, flattening that out and getting the F, a C7 chord, and then an F chord with the C with the G up here, G7 with a D up here, that's another way that we can go. It's always a good idea to be able to read a melody as it's written, because as it's written actually is an octave difference than what we actually play on guitar. I think we covered that once, but I don't want to delve too much into that. But we actually play an octave higher than we read. When we read the middle C, we play this C, but middle C is actually that C. So we're playing an octave lower than we're reading. If we didn't do that, we'd have to have the bass clef involved. And years ago, they decided that guitar players wouldn't be able to read the bass clef, so why do it? Another one quick thing we could do is instead of just using the plain chords, we can add some major sevens in a dominant 7. Let me just go through that a little bit, and here I'm playing a C major 7, and then I'm going to a C7, and a C7 with this D note is a C9, and then I'm F major 7, and then a C. There's a C6, C major 7, and then the G7 like this. Notice it sounds a little sweeter. And but there we have it. course, we could take it even deeper and change some chords. Let me think. And put other chords into it, but that's for some later date. Again, if you have any questions or if you have any concerns, anything that you would like me to cover, I'd be more than happy to do it. By the way, like I said at the beginning of this, the music, this actually came out of a mandolin book. I do know a little bit about mandolin. If anybody's interested in me talking about some of the basics of the mandolin or a 5-string banjo, I could do that too. So if you're interested, just give a call or email or a mail, and I'd be happy to do that. So until next time, you just keep on picking.
We're going to do a Patsy Cline tune for you. We're going to do Crazy tonight, written by Willie Nelson and performed by Patsy Cline. Tonight, performed by me. Thank you.
Tammy Wadhams. That's right.
For feeling so lonely, I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so blue. I knew you'd love me as long as you wanted. Somebody new. Why do I let myself worry? Wondering what in the world did I do? Crazy for trying.
and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the music show and our interview, or no, we're in our showcase segment of the show now. And we're going to talk a little bit about the piano and the different settings, and a little bit about theory and how you come up with all the chords. So, we're set. Yeah.
Stop.
Hey. Hey, really good. Again, welcome everybody to the music show.
Okay.
And okay, well, everybody has pretty much gotten to know Bobby by now, probably, and Bobby McGee and the Bobby McGee Band. Bobby, you play with your daughter Tammy.
Absolutely.
Wadhams.
Tammy Wadhams.
Oh, you got your lavalier on, so you're okay.
All right.
Hand you the mic, but we don't need to do that.
All right, Ray.
So, yeah, you know, I had a few questions on how you play the electric, or the, what would you call this, keyboard?
This is a digital piano, 88 key digital piano.
Mm-hmm.
It has a complement on it that I control. It's like you being in the studio. I can control the bass. I can custom it too. I'll pick a song out that's popular. I'll try so hard to get the exact rhythm that's into the song.
Yes.
And I match it. I custom it.
Oh.
Then it stays in my program for
Right.
me. But I do play the song. It'll
It'll keep you moving. Keeps the
It'll
rhythm
play like
going.
I play a piano. It'll
Yeah.
follow me. And if I
Okay.
don't do that, it won't.
Oh, okay, okay. It is, every time we have somebody in, they have different types of keyboards, and
Yeah.
they all seem to work differently.
Yeah, they do.
And but this one has got a digital display up here that you have to use to be able to know.
Right, where I'm putting my settings,
Where
what
you put the
sounds I
settings.
want, and it's right in there.
Right, right. You know, a couple of questions. One thing I was concerned about was how you can, and my father used to do this because he played organ, and of course he had the pedals too,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and everything. So there's a lot involved with switching tones, or,
Oh, yeah.
what would
Oh,
you
yeah.
call them? Switching registers, I guess they call it on the
The
organ.
bass on an organ is just basically an octave on a keyboard. It's just that in the lower register.
Yeah, on the lower. Well, as you use the bass, they
Yeah.
use the pedals.
Yeah.
But he did a lot, I know, when he played, of switching the registers, or I think they call them registers.
Yeah, you
With
pull-
the key, you
yeah.
pulled, or whatever,
Oh,
all the
yeah.
different
Oh, all
knobs
the
that you
sounds.
did.
Oh, yeah.
So you do a lot of the same stuff in a little bit quicker action, though, I think, in today's technology.
Yeah,
It's quicker.
this piano is getting obsolete now.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of the technology they have out today.
So how do you do that? How do you play a song, sing a song, play the song, and be able to switch things so quickly and keep it rolling smooth like that? I mean, to me, it's fascinating. I couldn't do it.
Uncle
I don't
Nick
think.
put it all in one bag.
He did.
Practice.
Right? Yeah, you
And
saw
Uncle
that
Nick
one.
said that,
Right.
and it's so true. I get out of bed in the morning and I start playing. I have a duplicate of this at home, and we practice. I practice all day long and all. In fact, I drive everybody nuts. That's all
Yeah.
I do. I got the.
Well, I call you on the phone or something. You're practicing.
I'm
I
all
know.
the time. That's what I do.
The settings on it, though, what you got, like saxophone. I heard you playing saxophone.
Yeah,
on
I
this,
can-
a jazz guitar.
Again, I preset it,
piano.
and I can make a sax sound.
Yeah.
But it's got to be the right octave. You just don't hit the thing and play. You got to have the right sound, and then you got to, as you play it, you got to think of you are actually playing that instrument.
Is this touch sensitive too? I mean, how hard you?
Well, I am a heavy guy, but I just
Like-
see it. I don't have it. I just keep it on normal.
Okay.
Then I play it like a saxophone. And Uncle Nick, here's a ninth,
Yeah.
a seventh,
Well, that's a ninth and a seventh. Like,
and then you're sounding like a
does
saxophone.
jazz use a lot of ninths and sevens?
I don't know. I heard all my life, and I just.
And so you just do it, right?
In fact, Tammy chews me out. She brings a CD out. We learn the song. Then I change most everything because if I had to play like that CD, I'm a musician. I got to do what I feel.
Right.
Otherwise,
Well, I know that when I worked with you one time, you were adding all these different.
when I could see my.
But when we worked at your house, you were adding.
Yeah.
I don't know, major sevenths and sevens
Yeah,
and ninths
yeah,
and elevens
yeah.
and thirteenths.
So did you, Ray.
I
So
know,
did
I
you.
did too. But
Okay.
but you seem to understand that whole theory. But you learned a lot from our show, didn't you? From
I actually-
from which segment of the show is that? The Uncle Nick's corner, I
Uncle
think?
Nick, he's well. If I didn't know, basically, Nick would be very confusing but he's not. He's completely right on what he's saying. Lower 5, raise not, raise your 5. And a lot of people I play with, a lot of people I play with don't know that stuff. A lot of good players.
Very, very important.
Very important.
And I would imagine jazz has a lot of that in it.
Just that stuff Tammy plays.
But even the old standards.
Oh, that's the best way to go, because that's right there. Then you get fancier as time goes by. And then you do your own feeling of that song.
Right. Absolutely fascinating. How do you know, though? Is it all feel, or do you have some theory sometimes behind you on some of the stuff, on the chords and stuff? I know you were talking to me as if you sometimes do have some theory thought in it when you.
I follow what I would call the cycle of fifths. In other words, so a lot of times I'm playing, I don't even know what key I'm in, because they all intermix eventually with your ear. So you got to know how to. And I tell my daughter and my son, I says, it's like taking get $1 bills worth of change, pennies, nickels, dimes, throw it out on the floor and make me $1. That's the same thing. How many pennies would make $1? How many nickels? And you mix it all up. And that's
it all equals.
It all equals out. If you're playing the G minor, well, your lower third, lower, you know your rules for Uncle Nick knows all this stuff, and that is very interesting to me.
Well, I'm so glad that I know there's a lot of people that watch Uncle Nick that really appreciate all his knowledge, and I certainly do. Anytime I get a chance, I listen to him playing in the other room or whatever. I just am fascinated by the work he does with the chords, the different colorful chords he adds in.
Ray, you're not too bad yourself. People don't play chords, everybody, especially a country guitar player, all we got to be lead guitars. They got to learn the structure. Then everything comes natural after that.
Well, I tell you, it's been a very, very interesting segment on the lecture on the piano, and also the different chord structures and stuff that you do. And I just want to thank you for sharing a little bit of your knowledge with us.
I appreciate coming here.
I didn't shake your hands today yet.
Well, I appreciate you too, Ray. Good man. You're a good man, Ray. I love you.
He's a great guy. I like this guy.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you for joining us on the music show and this instrumental showcase that we had with Bobby McGee. And stay tuned. We got some more stuff for you.
Our next song is called Watch What Happens. Bob?
I certainly am, my dear.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Cold. No, I won't believe your heart is cold. Maybe just afraid to be broken again.
Believing in you, let him hold out his hand, let him touch you and watch what happens.
Want someone who can look into your eyes and see into your heart. Let him find you.
Watch what happens.
Cold. No, I won't believe your heart is cold.
Maybe just afraid to be broken again. Let someone with a deep love to give.
Give that deep love to you.
And what magic you'll see.
Let someone with a deep love to give.
Give that deep love to you.
someone who can look into your eyes, see into your heart, that'll find you.
Watch what happens.
Cold. No, I won't believe your heart is cold.
Maybe just afraid to be broken again. Let someone with a deep love to give.
Give that deep love to you.
And what magic you'll
Let
see.
someone with a deep love to give.
Give that deep love to you.
And what magic you'll see.
And what magic you'll see. And what magic you'll see.
Hello, everybody. It's great to have you back with us on the Music Show. I'm Ray Braselton, your host.
And I'm Nick Rita, co-host.
And today we've had with us the Bobby McGee Band. And that includes Bobby McGee and his daughter, Tammy. You want to introduce yourselves and Tanya?
All right, I'm Bobby McGee, Tammy's father. Who are you?
I'm Tammy Wadhams,
Bobby's.
Bob's daughter.
Right.
It works good that way, doesn't
It
it?
does. It works real good. And
I thought he was going to finish, but
well, you guys did a great job today, and we really did enjoy you a lot.
you.
And it's been a while. We've been trying to get you on for quite a while, and we finally got you on, and even better with your daughter now and everything. And she's been so instrumental, no pun intended, with her voice and in complimenting you with the harmonies and being able to sing some of the songs that a girl might sing best. You know.
She's awesome.
And so it's been nice being able to hear two great singers. Because Bobby, you've got one heck of a voice. We were talking about earlier. Well, we were talking about earlier about. I was telling you, I thought you sounded a lot like Tony Bennett, and I know you laughed. But to me, I don't know if it's Tony Bennett, or Frank Sinatra, but he's got that phrasing ability with songs that a lot of people don't have. And it just seems so personal, like he's singing right to you, and like he's talking to you as he's singing. And I don't know if that's how you feel when you
just
sing
like
that.
I feel. And Tammy brought me through a lot of that, by the way. And I'm a piano. Well, I sang the songs. When I got tied up with Tammy, and she was always correcting me, especially when we're doing harmony. She would say, "Dad, hold that note out longer, or you're coming in too quick or too late." And I started focusing on it. She's just a natural at that. Where she got it from.
Well, that would be a question. Like, of course, you got it probably from the musical experience of just being in the family of a musical talent like this guy. I mean, in a lot of ways, because you were talking earlier about the stories when you were kids, and he was always with music. And didn't you travel a lot?
Always.
I travel a lot with different groups I was with, and all over the place. Tough to come home. We were almost semi-famous. We really were, and I just got involved in my music, and it was tough to see all these kids, And I'm glad to be with her now, my old age. I'm glad to be with her.
Well, your son also, your brother, works with you, and you have another daughter that sings too.
Yes, we do. And they're a musical group, and they're kids, kids, not kids. He's my son Robert's really a good guitar player. He's just tough to.
I had heard about him, and then I was able to see over. I think maybe it was the Elks Club in Waterloo or something, and I saw. I was really amazed how good he compliments you guys real nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell him get on the show here, man. You got to get after that guy. You want to be on the TV show. What's his name again?
Robert,
right.
Robert Pavro.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. But no, I had a couple of questions for you. I wanted to ask you a little bit about your piano and keyboard. We were talked also a little bit about. You had called it a piano, not a keyboard. Is there anybody here have a difference between the keyboard and the piano? I know it has 88 keys to start with. So it kind of makes it a piano.
Keyboards do too.
Yeah.
The keyboard. There
Yeah.
is, well, the ones I played, and they're so confusing. Where you get in those books, or you get in the store,
Yeah.
and it's what I always liked in my digital piano. And by the way, I've been playing 5 years, and I started on one of the little Yamaha things, and
Yeah.
and I ended up. I like that big hammer action, the big
Okay.
keys, and
Yeah.
and I can. And I noticed the other ones have these cheap plastic.
Okay, so
it was
Yeah.
a little different to me. I wanted the working man's piano.
Right.
That's what I ended up with. You know.
yeah.
I enjoy it.
Now, is it just the technology to have a lot to do with why it might be called piano as opposed to a keyboard?
You know,
or-
Ray, for years I asked myself, what's the difference in a digital piano and a keyboard?
Yeah.
That's the closest I can get to it. It's
Yeah,
just that
right.
one is
Yeah.
more like a piano. When I'm out playing,
Right.
I can play.
Right.
I think the
Right.
keyboards can do that. I don't think
Yeah.
it's good, but they
Yeah,
do it.
right. Yeah, and we talked a lot about how you, do your. We did that in the showcase, of course. So we're just repeating a lot of stuff we
Yeah.
already went over, but it's some good work on that you do. And do you usually work the two alone, the two of you alone, or does your brother work with you quite a bit too? With the
Not too much. Not too
Once
much.
in a while.
And, he's
Yeah.
awesome. But
Yeah.
he just is. I got a couple grandchildren. He spends different than the dad. He spends a lot of time with those kids. It's that's what he puts them first, and music is second to him.
Now, does Dad play alone quite a bit by himself too, or do you two play together most of the time?
Our night jobs are always together.
Right,
I play
He
a lot
does
of
do a lot of day jobs, but he has to do those alone.
alone.
Yeah.
And how do you like it most?
Of course, I love it with Tammy. When I'm with the nursing home kind of a thing, and I don't know why, I think I look out in the patients and stuff, and I go by what I see, and not what Ray Braselton taught me.
What
which
Ray
means
teach you?
Ray taught me. You and I got together one
Yeah,
night,
yeah.
and you had a job in a nursing home,
And there was like 75 people there.
and Ray turns around to me, Nick, and he says, "Johnny, be good." I said, "They're all in wheelchairs on oxygen." I said, "Johnny, be good." I came in with Johnny Be Good, and he's hopping around. By the way, he's a good guitar player, and he's a good singer. And I couldn't believe it that night we were playing the 50s and the 60s, and Ray was hopping around. You did a good job that night, Ray.
But you
taught
found
me a
out
lesson.
that these people are, first of all, they're wonderful people. If you ever, I identify with them so much,
Yeah.
and they actually were involved during the 60s.
They
A
know
lot,
that-
and
they know
that was
that
our
music.
era because they were young adults, very young adults, and so I identify with them a lot, and I have a lot of fun doing
taught me a lot.
Jailhouse Rock
Oh,
and
yeah.
all those songs, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
love it. It's a bit-
Johnny Be
so,
Good.
yeah, and all those. So that's great that you're still doing that.
It's my son-in-law.
Yes, right. I know. And you want to say something about him on the show? We mentioned
I
earlier.
wanted to say from my heart, without any fibbing, best son-in-law. I'll say it again, underline. Best son-in-law a man can have.
Yeah.
He's his wife, my daughter. We started three and a half years ago. We've been all over wherever. Ray never once complained. He's the first one there. He loads all the stuff, unloads it, and he works hard at his job. He's up early in the morning, and I use him late
I
at
see
night.
him out there whenever you guys
And
are
I
playing.
want to say to him, face to face,
yeah.
Ray, thank you very much.
There you go.
I love you, Ray.
You got it, Ray.
There he is.
And there, look at that! Look at that look. He's on camera, so we
I
got
got
him.
a
Thank you for doing that.
That's from my.
So we're going to basically close up the show tonight. With a thank you for joining us. We want to know what kind of places you would be willing. I mean, you do play at, and what kind of contact. Do you have contact number again? I think we went over this before, but just anybody who missed the show earlier, so that they know. What kind of places do you do? What kind of jobs will you do?
Tammy.
Weddings, private parties,
Anniversary, Christmas, most
Christmas
anything.
parties.
Most anything.
We do a lot of the clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Syracuse is a favorite again.
Mm-hmm.
Tammy's I call her a jazz singer, and I get in the country, and
Yeah.
I'm versatile, and
Yeah.
Tammy fights to do that, although she does a terrific job when she does it in the country.
Crazy.
Yeah, she does beautiful, and she don't like me to say country around her. For some reason, she listens to Natalie
Jazz.
Cole and all the jazz kicks.
She's great.
And,
She's my favorite, Natalie Cole.
This girl can just.
She's the greatest.
In fact, there's times when I'm out in public with her, they all come up. Oh, they're so beautiful. So, and I go, how about me? How about me? That 1 minute.
Well, we'll just have to, get together again sometime, Bobby, you and I, and do the job together.
Absolutely.
Because I had more fun with you doing that job than you can ever
Absolutely.
imagine. And
I want to get together with Nick sometime.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And Ray, stop stealing my jobs.
Oh no, I didn't steal them. They called me. Like I
They're
said,
yours first.
I was just.
I love them. I'm just kidding.
Okay, everybody. Nick, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for Uncle Nick's Corner. Bobby thinks you're the greatest.
Wow. Well, you are. You're a great teacher, and you teach your students to practice. That's the key.
That's fine. Well, thank you, Bobby. That's at least $10 worth. $10 that I gave you earlier.
And you're as handsome here as you was on my TV.
Oh boy. Well, Bobby, thank you so much for joining us.
You're
And
handsome
finally,
too, old
well, I'm an old man.
Thanks, Ray.
Tammy,
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank
All
you.
kidding aside. Thank both of you.
Okay.
Nice meeting you.
Same here, Bobby.
So, from Nick and myself and Bobby and Tammy, why don't we just say goodbye? Goodbye. Have a good
Bye-bye.
day.
Good night.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Quiet nights of quiet stars, quiet chords from my guitar, floating on the silence that surrounds us. Quiet thoughts and quiet dreams, quiet walks by quiet streams, and a window looking on the mountains and sea. Oh, how lovely, this is where I want to be, here with you so close to me, until the final flicker of life's ember. I who was lost and lonely, believing life was only a bitter tragic joke, have found with you the meaning of existence, oh my love. Quiet nights of quiet stars, quiet